we'll help expand upon the teachings of your oneness. July 23, 2013. We quite enjoy connecting with humanity and giving you updates related to the ongoing evolution of your world, as you've existed under veils and limitations that enforce separation from the divine realms of consciousness you've both come from and are growing back toward as a collective. We seek to update you as often as possible from our vantage point on matters playing out on your dear Earth, and to that extent, we wish to let you know that events continue to progress significantly in relation to the disclosure of our existence. We don't say this because of progress made on our end or on the Cabal's end in the way of disclosing our existence to humanity, but we speak rather of the rising collective energy levels, which are becoming more allowing of our presence and a widespread understanding of it, in every moment. Every soul around you is beginning to awaken and find understandings of the higher dimensions in their own ways, and it's for this reason that when the disclosure of our existence and wish to assist your planet does hit your mainstream, those around you who would have otherwise been startled or overwhelmed in a very large way by disclosure will find themselves more easily able to take everything in and adjust to the new reality that will be disclosed to them. This is largely why the disclosure of our existence and presence around your planet has been stalled as it has. As we've worked carefully to avoid collective panic concerning the revelation of our existence and the fact that such existence has been largely covered up by many of your governments and world leaders for quite some time. We've always been around. We've been known about for far longer than even many awakening souls yet know or understand, and we've always been around your planet in mass numbers, helping you dear souls to evolve in the various civilizations you've created. We've helped to lead your evolution in subtle and bold ways, and we've helped each of you to reach personal strides in regards to your garnering of awareness and enlightenment. Our aim is to assist and to offer the love that we're blessed with feeling and that we dearly wish for every one of you to be able to feel again, for this love is truly grand and wondrous to behold. This love creates entire, blissful higher dimensional landscapes and planes of existence for an infinite amount of souls to soak up and enjoy, and we dearly wish for you to be able to feel the experience that is absorbing and radiating this love out to every facet of the sentient consciousness around oneself. You'll come to discover your unbridled connection with every facet of the consciousness around you as you grow and evolve into greater understandings of the interconnected nature of your existence. In the time ahead when we're able to be on your world in the mass numbers we've remained stationed in your sky and we'll help to expand upon the teachings of your oneness with every soul around you. Humanity's oneness goes far beyond your oneness with each other as human beings. As has been said, you're connected immensely with every animal, every plant, every grain of sand and every blade of grass, as all are united via a network of spiritual, reality-creating love energy. Humanity will come to learn of the energy creating and sustaining your reality as you collectively grow into greater understandings of the higher dimensions of existence. The revelations you'll receive and be tasked with taking in will be grand indeed, and you've been asked in the past to prepare yourselves for what you'll be imbued with, for good reason. The Inner Earth Disclosure. One of the biggest aspects of the initial disclosure announcements you'll witness as they're being planned currently, will be the discussion of the inner earth and the presence of an ascended society of souls who were also actively interested in your evolution. Earth isn't the only hollowed-out planet, and the hollowed-out method of structuring oneself is preferred by the majority of souls who choose to take incarnations as planets. The Earth does indeed possess a core despite being hollowed out. A central sun that keeps the inner earth and indeed, even many facets of the surface earth, sustained and vibrating with energy. The inner earth and the beings existing underneath your ground, as well as the underground bunkers that have been created by your cabals in the outer rungs of your inner earth, which they plan to descend into after realizing their plans of a fully oppressed populace. This will all be explained to humanity in depth, and the biggest reasons for our presence around your world will be explained in depth as well. We've been performing the very important tasks of disarming nuclear weapons and mitigating manifested pollution that could otherwise serve to damage the Earth exponentially, though we've only been able to do so much in regards to all of this. Working with the collective energies. We've acted within humanity's free will measures, as we seek not to overwhelm your dear planet. At the same time, we do seek to assist you, and despite the nature to which we've had to adhere to your collective free will measures, we're still happy to report that we've been able to do quite a bit for your dear planet indeed. Like many of you, we've been working with the energies of the collective consciousness of humanity. We've been working to transmute the bulk of negative energy given out and manifested in your collective consciousness in every moment, though we haven't done quite as much as you dear souls on the ground have in the way of transmuting such energies. You're truly on the front lines, helping to bring about change and energetic transmutation in the boldest and grandest sense possible. Honor yourselves, dear souls. Nurture the growing understanding you're finding in yourselves, of your ability to do everything we've discussed with you. In relation to the energies of the collective consciousness especially, many of you dear seasoned light workers have spent fruitful time in your dream state transmuting continual negative and twisted up energy, which is manifested and fed in your collective consciousness. You've been able to do so very much, and have largely transmuted the bulk of what would otherwise continue to hold humanity back forever and keep you ensnared in the state of unawareness that feeds a lower dimensional experience. We speak of the efforts of the awakening humanity in transmuting the bulk of collective dense energy, because we wish to congratulate you for what you've been able to accomplish thus far. Indeed, congratulating you for your mission and what you've done upon the surface of the earth has been a theme of many channeled communications of late, and while we don't encourage a spiritual ego or allowing oneself to feel greater than others or greater than a previous version of oneself because one has worked to actively assist in the ascension of the earth, we certainly encourage you knowing of the good you've been able to do. Lightly awakening others. You've brought through unprecedented, harmonious and pure vibrations, and the vibrations you've made way for are working very strongly to awaken the minds and hearts of every soul on the surface of the earth. Every soul is to become knowledgeable of the higher realms and the mechanisms that drive a higher dimensional experience in the time ahead, and for now, we'd recommend slowly and lightly working to open up some of those around you, if they seem interested in what you have to say. We would never encourage overwhelming any dear soul with the perspective and information you have to offer, but slight hints as to the future you're heading into or small bits of truth or insight tricked through to those around you may not hurt. We say may not hurt because the experiences each one of you is having and the manners in which those around you would potentially react to being told news that's far outside their paradigm of physical understanding, are different. Your experiences are so unique, so individual and wondrous to behold, and we've wished for you to know that your work is bearing immense fruit in a plethora of realms beyond your current perception. Of course, the surface Earth is the most important realm to see uplifted in this moment, as the ascension of the surface Earth is to kickstart the ascensions of so many other dear planets who have been patiently awaiting their evolution and whose citizens have grown in enlightenment and awareness, largely due to the rapid ascension of the Earth. People are awakening en masse. While it may not seem so on your world stage and your media will certainly not yet report, people are awakening on your dear planet en masse, and the widespread taking place simply cannot be stopped. This awakening cannot be stopped because it's being pioneered by souls who have traversed plentiful lower dimensional planets before, and have helped the civilizations of such planets to see the light and find their individual ascensions. You who are on the front lines of serving humanity and bringing light to the darkness have worked to help uplift and inform so many other dear planets before, and you've been heralded in the higher dimensions before making your ways to the earth. Again, we don't say this to please any dear light workers' egos or make you think as if you're exalted souls who are above all the rest, because all of humanity is exalted. When every soul on your world can realize their potential to become masters and to grow into greater and purer perceptions about themselves and the reality around them, we anticipate that your entire collective will get to work cultivating the ascended society we and you alike are so very ready to see established. Because of the nature to which the disclosure of our existence has been stalled many times, Some souls on your earth who genuinely believe in our presence and wish to assist you would perhaps think or assume that we're not just as eager and excited as you are for our presence to be made known. We're more excited than we could possibly express, and this is in part why we've been so fixated upon your evolution and upon events occurring on the world stage. We dearly want your public to know that we and myriad other benevolent cosmic races exist and have been around your planet en masse for so very long, and if we could feel what you term disappointment in the higher dimensions, we'd have felt it each time our disclosure has been pushed back for reasons that are ultimately necessary for the betterment of mankind. We don't seek to overwhelm. We don't seek to overwhelm your planet, or see any soul on your world afraid of a perceived outside force who they feel or fear will plunder or destroy their planet. This image of us has largely been propagated by your cabals, and by souls in high positions in your media who flaunt such stereotypes in many of their movies and television shows without understanding that our image is being purposely tainted. While we've been depicted as monstrous beings who would take over in a moment if we were allotted, we're certainly not, and we have, in fact, helped protect your Earth from races with malevolent intents in the past, when our intervention was allowed. There are indeed malevolent and service-to-self based extraterrestrial races away from your planet, who'd wish to exploit your Earth for their personal gain, and have in the past. However, our various lighted organizations and federations far outnumber any lower-inclined fourth-dimensional races, and have the full capabilities to cease their activities whenever the free will of the civilization they'd interfere with allows. Some souls on your world have fed into unawareness vastly with the accepting of what's been put in front of them, by souls in positions of power who truly don't have the best interests of humanity at heart. Exposing the agendas of tyranny. The cabals have been allowed to take the reins of control on your world for so very long because, for the most part, humanity has not become aware of how largely your governments and institutions have been intercepted. The Illuminati, as they've been termed, have worked to intercept anything that is good or of the light on your Earth, and twist them into things that serve the agendas and energies of fourth density negative. They've done this in an effort to see humanity feeding lower states of consciousness, and their plans for humanity have been much vaster than the majority of souls on your world will be comfortable accepting. What we mean is that the cabals had planned a far darker fate for humanity than the unawakened collective has been led to believe, but we don't say this to dip your vibrations or make you feel fearful. Rather, we seek to expose the aims of the cabals as we remind you endlessly that the light is here to stay on your dear planet, and has answered to them and their agendas tenfold. Despite much of what we discuss concerning your cabals, we certainly don't want any soul absorbing this communication to think that evil or malevolence possesses the upper hand on your planet. The dualistic game, if one wishes to call it that, between the light and the dark, has taken place for longer than millennia, with the dark sometimes seeming to gain an upper hand. The seeming victory of the dark energies is an illusion, and again, if you dear souls could fathom events from our perspective, you'd see the pure and strong light that has flooded your planet exponentially. We dearly wish for you to be able to see and fathom fully the light you've largely helped to anchor onto the surface and collective consciousness of the Earth. Light assists in transmutation. We've mentioned the transmutation of the bulk of collective dense energies being performed by you and the awakening light worker public, and the vastly pure light energies you've funneled into the core and collective consciousness of the Earth have assisted you greatly in such transmutation. As we make our final impressions for this communication, we send cosmic vibrations of the purest and most loving order for each of you to pick up on and absorb. The higher dimensions are certainly not going anywhere, and are going to overwhelm even the most seasoned of light workers when they make their full descent unto your reality. Continue on in your valiant missions, for you're being watched and supported by an endless number of higher dimensional beings and civilizations, who care for you so very dearly and wish to see you evolve and commune with us once again. Thank you to the Pleiadian High Council. Channeled through Wes Anak. WesAnak.com. AquariusParadigm.com